6:47, your Smart Start for Tuesday. And breaking updates, a man in his 30s is recovering this morning in the hospital after being shot multiple times in Rochester.
Police tell us they found the victim on Hildeberg Street just off of North Goodman around 11:30. If you think you know anything about this case, please call 911.
A 20-year-old man is also in the hospital. He was stabbed here in Rochester, and police are looking for the person or people responsible. That victim found here on Driving Park Avenue just before 7 p.m. Officers say at first it was unclear if this was a stabbing or a shooting. It wasn't until the victim made it to the hospital doctors determined he had in fact been stabbed. The man is expected to make a recovery from those injuries.
A 19-year-old is among a group of people arrested after shots were fired in the Beechwood neighborhood last night. Nobody was hurt, and while learning about a suspected car's involvement, police say the patrols were able to quickly stop the car on Clifford Avenue. Multiple people inside were then arrested, including the 19-year-old who we're told was a passenger. Police say that he took off from officers, leaving behind a weapon along the way, and was arrested soon afterwards. Those charges are pending.
We now know the name of the man shot and killed in Scottsville over the weekend. 43-year-old Kelvin DeFlavis. Deputies say he was shot in the front yard of a home on Main Street. We've been told there is a person of interest they've been speaking with, but more details have been very limited. They have not been released, as they say it's a complicated investigation. We have heard from neighbors, though, calling it a tragedy, saying this is normally a pretty quiet part of the village.
Well, Rochester police say data shows a significant decrease in stolen cars this year compared to this same time about a year ago. Most reported in 2023 were due to a social media trend surrounding a lack of anti-theft features on certain Kias and Hyundais around this time last year. Now, there were more than 2,000 cases of stolen cars in Rochester at that time, but by December, that number hit nearly 4,000. Now, to date, Rochester has seen just less than 800 so far for the year. Several efforts have gone into addressing this surge of car thefts and mitigating those numbers, including the distribution of anti-theft wheel locks and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Stolen Vehicle Task Force.
Some more news coming up. First, a dose of your weather here and a dose of the chill again. James Gilbert this morning, some in the upper 40s.
Like to call it refreshing.
Yes, it is for sure.
Most definitely.
It's comfortable to start, and numbers around 50, and we get to around 80, so we will climb pretty quickly back to where we normally should be, and then we'll get into the warmth. No rain really at all today. Tomorrow, yes, rain, but it's not going to be till late in the day. So if you have those last-minute plans to get ready for Independence Day, tomorrow should be a fine day to do it before those storms roll through. We'll take a look at the 8-day at the end of the show. Brendan, how are the roads looking this morning?
We will take a look at that now, James, as the time is 6:50. Around the Metro Expressway is clear and green on our traffic map. And how about that beautiful view over the river and downtown? We've talked a little bit about that fourth forecast. Some more details coming up, as well as the 8-day getting us to the holiday weekend. For now, the here and now, and a big story we're following today in court. It is the arraignment for the ex-Greece Deputy Town Supervisor Michelle Marini.
And this all comes after felony charges were announced against her last week. So to give us the latest details about the case, Aron Spitzer joining us live outside the Hall of Justice. Aron.
Yeah, Brennan, Michaela, in just a few hours, former Greece deputy supervisor is set to appear in court for her arraignment. Now, just last week, News 8 obtained court documents related to charges of grand larceny in connection with 3 different homes that had work done on them. Now, the district attorney's office says she violated multiple laws between March of 2022 and March of this year. Marini is also accused of unlawfully tracking a town resident with a GPS device. Marini did resign as director for constituent services for the town of Greece as of last Monday. Current town supervisor Bill Rylick says they will continue to work with the DA's office on this investigation. Now, that arraignment is happening today at 9:30. I will be in court. We will update you guys on air and, of course, on our website, rochesterfirst.com. Reporting from Rochester, Aron Spitzer, News 8.
Aron, thank you. President Joe Biden is weighing in on the Supreme Court's historic ruling that grants broad presidential immunity to those occupying the Oval Office. The High Court ruled in a decision 6-3 that presidents have broad immunity from prosecution for official acts taken while in office. The court's 3 liberal justices strongly dissented, with Justice Sotomayor writing the decision, quote, effectively creates a law-free zone around the president, allowing a president to become a, quote, king above the law.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
The president also says the decision means there are virtually no limits to what the commander-in-chief can do. Former President Donald Trump also reacted to the ruling from the court, saying on Truth Social, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American."
The head of Action for a Better Community, or ABC, says they will not be able to operate their early Head Start program this summer, but the free preschool program will resume by fall, along with Head Start for 3- and 4-year-olds.
News 8 first told you about this story coming in May. That was when the head of ABC, Jerome Underwood, expressed concerns about a lapse in services during this break for kids. These are federally funded programs for low-income families, and the group has been providing Head Start in Monroe County since it launched the program in 1965. But the nonprofit's recent failure to meet standards for performance related to child safety and other factors jeopardized the contract for the agency. Underwood confirms the Department of Health and Human Services federal group once again awarded ABC $17 million to continue operations for the program, with some changes, including serving fewer children and the closure of the facility on Hudson Avenue. This fall, about 800 women, babies, toddlers, and preschoolers will be served by what they offer. And more details, we're told, should come out today. As everyone is enjoying fireworks at night this holiday week, keep in mind our pets. We know they can get a little scared.
Of course. And July 4th is actually one of the top days that pets get loose or run away. So here's some advice to avoid that. Talk to your vet about anxiety treatments, as sometimes short-term medications can be prescribed for pets with known problems. Experts advise keep those pets away from the flammable objects you might enjoy during the day, like sparklers, grills, or fire pits. Also, make sure that cats and dogs have a safe, comfortable room indoors during those big fireworks displays. The Humane Society officials further add, avoid feeding pets food from your holiday plates, especially since things like onions, avocados, and grapes are toxic to animals. Most importantly, they say, be sure your pet has a form of identification on them. That includes putting a contact information for yourself on your pet's collar and getting them microchipped.
Let's talk about the shows for the pros for the 4th. Anyone want to see some fireworks? You can do that here in the city. Rochester putting on its annual extravaganza. That starts around 10 o'clock. Best viewing areas, Broad and Court Street bridges. Those will both be close to traffic, so just walk on out. The Red Wings got their game. They're lighting off as well Thursday night. Good views from the stadium or from the High Falls Garage. Outside the city, just name a place. So Rondequoit, Greece, Henrietta, Canandaigua, they're all hosting their own shows, and we have a list of locations and the times where to get the best views over at rochesterfirst.com. These only work if the weather cooperates. What you got there?
Sure.
Yeah. No pressure.
Right. Yeah, we should be fine.
Yeah.
And time's usually sunset about 8:30, so lift off 9
Late.
o'clock, 9:15, between 9 and 10. Late for some people.
Late for us on this desk.
Early for others. So it depends on you what you like to do on the 4th. Independence Day for those afternoon barbecues should be good outside of a very isolated rain chance. Looking into the rest of the weekend, I'm sure there will be plenty of fireworks to be heard and seen on Friday. Again, we'll be battling some late showers and thunderstorms there. Saturday, same as well, just a few scattered showers around, and then we'll dry out a bit into next week. This is it. We are chilly out there this morning. I call it chilly because we're 10 degrees below average, but right back at it later today. And you see the rest of the mornings.
Yeah.
Numbers well into the 60s and low 70s.
Almost felt like we skipped to fall this morning.
Yeah, it was nice.
Briefly. Back to reality with the warmth coming. Thank you, James, and thank you so much for watching us here at Sunrise this Tuesday. Our next weather and news update in 30 minutes.
CBS Mornings coming up next. Have a wonderful day.